Hello again. Now we're going to go over the comparing functions worksheet. I'm not going to do it all, but I just want to guide you on what you're looking at to finish this. So when we are comparing functions here, we have a quadratic as object 1 in a graph, and then we have a table for object 2. So we're comparing a graph to a table. So we need to be able to find the same information from the graph that we can find in the table. So it says which object was dropped from a higher building, and how do you know? That's the key part, how you know, because you can guess and tell me which one. So when we look at dropped, we're looking at the y-intercept, the starting point. So that's what you want to find on the graph and on the table. So you're going to find, remember your y-intercept has 0 for x, and the y is what you're looking at. So, and remember where it is on the graph, it'll be where it crosses. And I'm not going to tell you where that is. I want you to figure that out, where it crosses the y. Okay, now this will be for you to finish. So I'm giving you the tips. Which object hits the ground first? So that's your x-intercepts. Okay, and how do you know? So that's what you've got to explain. What are you comparing from the graph to the table? I need those numbers so you know which one was dropped from a higher building and which one hit the ground first. Now, if you're looking for x-intercepts, you're going to find where it crosses the x on the graph. Okay, and then in your table, it's going to be where you have x but 0 for y. So make sure you can figure those out using that information. So that's the tips for the first one. Now the second one, we have an equation and a graph that we're comparing. So some things we can see comparing what they have in common and then what's different. So you need to graph this. It's a negative here. Graph it in Desmos and then compare. You're going to compare the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, the maximum. Are they both, what kind of function? What function are they? If that's the same, then say that. If it's different, say that. So talk about the x-intercepts, the y-intercept, the maximum, and the function, what type it is. And is it positive or negative? Does it open up or down? Do both of them. So those are some of the things you're comparing. So you're looking for these to talk about when you say what they have in common and what is different. So I want to see these things used for those comparisons. And then create a scenario where you could compare the two functions in context. So you can write a word problem. Think about what we said with quadratics. Look at your verbal that we did the other day and compare and make a scenario. Okay? All right, so that's the second part. Then on the third part, this is what you have to know after you watch the turtle video. So after watching the turtle video, you should be able to tell me the answer to the last one. Of the three graphs, this one. Oh, no, hold on. Let me try that again. This one. Of the three graphs above, which graph is moving at the fastest rate? Okay, and explain how you know. So, on this next slide, I'm going to go to. I'm going to talk about the turtle video. So you've already watched the turtle video. I know it's a little quirky little video, but I think it's pretty cool how it does explain. And what the main thing I want you to get from that about the rate of our functions is that linear is last. Then comes quadratic. Let me rewrite this the other way. Let's do greater than. So exponential wins every time. So he's greater than quadratic, and then a quadratic, of course, is greater than linear. And I say of course, because remember, this is b to the x. This can go on forever and ever and ever. This is restricted with a square. And then this is linear. It's just one restricted to 1, the x is. So exponential will always win in the rate. It will look like quadratic might take the lead, but exponential will always win as far as the rate goes. Okay, so use that. I want this information written on your beginning sheet we started with, page 1. Put it on the back of that sheet. You have, it's the LQE review, and it was the salmon colored one. So make sure this gets put on that, and just say notes from Turtle video. And we can always know exponential always wins. Exponential is greater than quadratic is greater than linear as far as the rate. So make sure you've got that all written down. And now you can go back and do this one where you tell me what the equation is, what the function type is, who has the highest y-intercept, and then the fastest rate. So you should be able to complete this worksheet now. Thank you very much.